Clubhouse. I'm happy to be here. I love coming here. I feel like I have way too much stuff in my pockets. You ever get that? Your shorts feel tight? You just loaded your pockets up? Maybe it's just me? Okay. That's cool. Off to a great start. I'm going to do some newer jokes. Some people in the room have heard it. If you heard it already, sorry if it's not funny the second time. But I know Domi hasn't heard it, so if I get just him to laugh, I think if you get one person in the room to laugh, that's considered comedy. Maybe not good comedy, but you're still doing it. So let's see here. I went to Dutch Bros recently. Maybe I shouldn't say specifically. I went through a drive-through coffee place, and I know it's a luxury. All right, I'm not complaining, but sometimes people who work there are just so hyped up, so excited to be alive, and that's cool. When it's early in the morning, sometimes it's a little much. I roll down my window, and the guy behind the glass, he opens his door, and he's like, "What's up, boss?" Holy shit. Oh, man, you need to take it down 90% from where you are right now. And also, if I was your boss, I'd make sure we were never here at the same time. I love the energy, just not around me. It's all right. I was eating breakfast at a restaurant recently. A breakfast restaurant, let me specify. And the ladies to my left, they were talking about the environmental cost of an egg. Sounds like a great conversation to have somewhere else. We're at a breakfast restaurant. You realize the main thing they're serving up is eggs. Also, I was eating eggs, all right? Maybe that's why I got upset. So I looked over. I wanted to see what they were doing so right that we didn't know about. And when she left, she didn't eat any of her vegetables. Plate full of veggies, tomatoes, broccoli. It's a waste of water. She's talking about environmental costs. I don't know. I think tonight's set is going to make me sound like a really angry person. That's all right. A lot of these notes are just about people saying and doing things. I know I'm far from perfect. It can make someone unlikable. You just keep judging people. But we're going to keep going. I was with my grandma outside, and she said, "Oh man, that's a strong breeze coming through. That's a really strong breeze." Grandma, that's called wind. It's one of the 4 elements. I don't think you should undersell it. Fire, water, earth, and strong breeze. Sitting at the bar, having a conversation with my friend. We were just talking about food. We thought Ashland had pretty good food, and I think that's fair to say. And this guy down the bar chimes in. He says, "Yeah, food here is all right. If you want good food, you gotta go to Portland." Okay, all right, maybe, whatever. We move on. About 5 minutes later, we're talking about clothing. My friend said he needs a nice shirt. Again, this guy chimes in from across the bar. He's like, "Yeah, the clothing around here is all right. If you want good clothing, you gotta go to Portland." Okay. Portland sounds great. I'm gonna go there, get some clothes, get some food. But one question before I go, are you gonna be there? Because you're terrible. I want to be around you or people like you. I'm stay here. I think Portland's great. Portland's a great place. If I ever have kids and it gets to that point where you got to start potty training, I think I have my own solution. Let's see if this works. I'm just going to shit my pants in front of them and be like, "You like this? Is this good for you?" I think that'll fix it. They'll know. They'll know. They'll know. I was at the grocery store and I got a 6-pack of cans. That's all I needed. And the guy, was checking out. The guy at the end, who was supposed to be bagging, he put his hand all over the top of the cans. He says, "Do you want these in a bag?" I was like, "I don't want these at all anymore." Done your job terribly. You ever been posed this question? Someone will say, "If you have 1 week to live, what would you do with your life?" Right? You've all heard something like this. There's always that one guy who's chiming in. He says, "Drugs. I would do all the drugs, man. Do so many drugs." It's like, what is wrong with you? You have 1 week to live, and all you're going to do is drugs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go see my family. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a crazy person. I'm going to go see my family, go home. We live on a poppy seed farm, tons of heroin. It's going to be amazing. It's a little longer. Any Marilyn Monroe fans in here? She's, I think she's kind of one of America's original sweethearts, right? I have this poster of her, and it's kind of an iconic photo. It's her laying in bed, being flirty, being fun, right? And she has this breakfast tray full of food with a glass of milk, and she's cracking an egg into the milk. Has anyone seen this picture? A couple nods? I just say a couple nods. No one nodded their heads, but we're keeping this thing going. So I had this poster, and people would come over, and they'd always ask me about the same thing and say, hey, cool poster, but why is she cracking an egg into the milk? And I love it when they ask me this question, because there's a very interesting backstory here, and I'm going to get into it for a second. So we used to do this thing, and follow along, this is really cool. You pour a glass of milk, and you crack an egg into it, and what happens is you get poisoned. These two guys, I like the smiles, thank you. I'm saying it's a terrible idea. You should crack eggs into milk. I don't know. If I grew up on a farm, I could just be bashing someone's breakfast. There's probably some jacked guy in the back of the room like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy when he gets off stage. Anyways, I do like milk. I'm not trying to hate on milk right now. I like milk. One time when I was a kid, my dad walked into the room. He said, hey Michael, would you like a glass of chocolate milk? Of course I would. Of course I would. Thanks, Dad. I love chocolate milk. He hands it to me. It's a big glass of chocolate milk. I'm like, oh, this is great. I take a drink, and he watered down the chocolate milk. He watered it down. And this is just like, that's an interesting series of events that just happened. I didn't realize it was still the Great Depression, Dad. What are we doing? Putting water in our milk. We could just drink it straight up. I think we'll be fine. Okay, no one's feeling me on this. Listen, he's like, he didn't think I would notice. That's what pisses me off the most. Chocolate milk, it's not chocolate milk. What's the thought process here? Hey, son, would you like a normal amount of something really good or a whole lot of something terrible? Shh, don't even say it. I made that choice for you. Just a few moments ago back in the kitchen. And this is a choice that cannot be undone, all right? You can't take the water from the milk. I don't know. Hey, Dad, how about next time you skip the water, plop an egg in there? Because I'd rather be dead than drink your watered down chocolate milk. You guys are great. I'll tell you what, I'm very happy with this. Phoenix Clubhouse, thank you so much. Give it up for your host, Domi. Thanks, guys.
Hi, everybody. So let's give it up for Michael Longnecker one more time.